what are you expecting, or how are you expecting the Brexit party not to do in the European elections, but to change policies back here in London, back here at home?
Well, the way we intend to do that is to win tomorrow, we hope, and to win big. And in winning big tomorrow, I think we'll send a very clear signal to Parliament and indeed the government that they need to get on with Brexit. They need to deliver a proper Brexit, a Brexit that complies with the undertakings they've repeatedly given the country, and not the kind of Brexit in name only sort of deal that they've been talking about more recently.
Right. When you talk about a proper Brexit, is this a hard Brexit? Is this a no-deal Brexit? And is the only way to get to a no-deal Brexit going through a general election?
Well, I don't much like the word hard Brexit. It conjures up images which aren't accurate. We do believe firmly now in a WTO no-deal Brexit. I think there was the possibility of a good trade deal with Europe a couple of years ago, but the manner in which the government and indeed Parliament has taken the country down this sort of cul-de-sac out of which there's no easy return, we have to go for a no-deal WTO Brexit. And whether that comes about by way of a general election or Parliament actually waking up and doing what the people want of them remains to be seen. But, you know, Parliament has to do it.
Do you believe that Boris Johnson should be the next Prime Minister of this country? Is he, you know, one of the only ones that can actually deliver the kind of Brexit you want?
I haven't really got a view on Boris Johnson. You know, he's been out of the main sort of light, as it were, for months. I haven't heard much about him. He voted in favour of the withdrawal agreement the third time it was presented. You know, which begs the question about the integrity of his resolve to deliver a proper Brexit. So, I mean, I can't really comment on Boris Johnson. For what it's worth, I don't think his appointment to the leadership of the Tory party will make any difference to the plight the Tories are currently facing.
OK, so you don't think a pro-Brexit Conservative Prime Minister would actually deliver the Brexit that you believe in?
I think the Tories are virtually incapable now of delivering the Brexit that should have been delivered to the people. They've got such a big schism down the middle of their party that I think it's a very difficult thing for anyone to resolve.
Are you expecting, I mean, there's a lot of, you know, analysts out there saying that a hard Brexit, or if you refute the term, a no-deal Brexit, hurts this country economically. How long do you think it'll take for this country to recover economically from that?
Well, I don't buy the narrative that a WTO Brexit would hurt the country. You know, you have to look at some basic figures. The Remain camp seem to have hijacked the whole debate and focused erroneously on the economy. And this is just a continuation of Project Fear. But just to give you some numbers, you know, about 12% of the UK's GDP depends on trade with the European Union. And if we were to WTO Brexit, we would have levies of about €5 billion a year on UK exports to the European Union. And we'd be levying about €13 billion worth of tariffs. So we'd have an €8 billion surplus with which the government...
Yeah, but leading bankers who I don't think have a view either Remain or pro-Brexit see a different view on the impact in the economy.
Well, I think that most large businesses prefer the status quo. They fear change. Just because they fear change, they have to adjust to a new normal. And I think my biggest criticism of this government is that it squandered 3 years not preparing the country positively for a new normal. You know, even nowadays, when you hear government ministers talking about preparing for a no-deal Brexit, they talk about it in terms of mitigating adversity. But actually, Brexit offers so many positive opportunities, none of which seem to have been grasped by the government.